our next speaker is all the way from Amsterdam in the Netherlands. He's a performer, an actor, a Hollywood producer, a theater owner, and today he'll be sharing with us the art of storytelling. Please welcome GRANIER.
Hello! So, if I understood correctly, because I read it in a book, or maybe it was a magazine, wait, maybe it was a cereal box, but if I understood it well, human beings have two basic needs. First one will be survival. Yes, eating, oh, there are slides. Survival. Eating, drinking, finding a shelter, etc. The second one would be production, perpetuation of the species. There are some exceptions. For example, some weird populations, like the French. Yeah, for them it's first reproduction and then survival. But that's not the point today. There is in fact a third need that has been there since the beginning of civilization. This need is stories. Yeah, because if you need food to live, you need stories to make your life worth living. So, what's your story? Everybody has a story. Every day, billions and billions of new stories are created, and they transcend into things we have no ideas. You find them in movies, in biographies, in selfies, with your buddies, in companies. You go to work, you find it with your customer, with your manager, on your computer, with your Tinder, story with your life, story with your wife. Nature has a good story. Yeah, we should listen to it instead of burning it. The stock market has a story. If you can read this one correctly, you can make a ton of money. So, yes, because if there are so many stories, there should be as many ways to monetize them. Example, a painter that can monetize a good story will make everyone believe that this, a monochrome, is actually a masterpiece. Hey, it's a masterpiece. Look, it also comes in a blue. There's a lot of colors. Huh? A singer that has a good story doesn't even need to have a voice to sell millions of records. You have an example? Okay, what did you say that? Ga ga unyanya, ga ga unyanya, ga. Okay, that's all for me. Then an actor that has a good story can end up doing politics, become governor or president. Look, this is Cynthia Nixon. She is now running for governor of New York, the girl from Sex and the City. I think the First Amendment is going to be cosmopolitan for everyone at breakfast. Then sometimes stories are so powerful that they even change the course of history. Look at this dude. Christopher Columbus. We all have read in our history books that Christopher Columbus discovered America. Am I right? But no, I'm wrong. Because America was discovered by this dude, Amerigo Vespucci. That's why they call it America. America, Amerigo, oi, oi, okay? If it was Columbus, they would have called it Colombia. Or Christopher Rica. Anyway, so actually what's funny is Christopher Columbus ended his life in jail. At one point, he discovered Cuba, some islands in the Caribbean, but he never thought about looking more north. So at one point, the Queen got pissed, she cut his thumb, and he ended up in prison. So why is he now in our history book? Because Christopher Columbus had a son, and his son was actually quite a good storyteller. And his son thought, hey, after all, my father did most of the work, he deserves some credit. I think they were Spanish or Italian, but it's excellent. And his son started to write the adventure of his dad, and that's how he ended in our history books. So if Christopher Columbus can do it for America, we can do it for our life and for our businesses. So, I believe that our propension to make money is linked to our propension to tell good stories. Stories that engage and persuade. Do you know that scientifically speaking, when you listen to a story, your brain is going to start to produce hormones, cortisol, dopamine, serotonin, and even though you know that the story is pure fiction, Let's put it another way. Let's quantum twist it. Stories are so powerful that you can bend the space-time continuum just by saying those three magic words. Long story short. Bam! Take that, Einstein! Back to the future. So I'm going to give you a little tips to create some very good stories. First tip, adapt to your audience, okay? It's very important. If your audience is mostly women, you will want to talk about things that appeal to women, like love, romance, passion, parenting, skincare, I don't know, give me ideas. If your story is mostly men, you will want to talk about things that appeal to men, like sex. Okay, second tip. Use metaphors, okay? What is a metaphor? Is an image that will enter in the brain of your audience. Example, I believe that women are like pearls. I know, wait, we're in South Africa. I believe that women are like diamonds. Thank you. Number 3, you play on the 3 different emotional levels, which are love, fear, and laughter. Okay, we're going to skip love and fear. We're going to talk a little bit about laughter. I'm going to give you 2 techniques to make an audience laugh. First technique, you simply take your audience in one direction, and at one point, you twist the direction. Example, I believe that men are also like pearls. No, not diamond, pearls. Because girl, before finding the right one, you might have to open a lot of oysters. This one was for you. Another kind of humor is observational humor. Did you know that nowadays, when a man makes $10, a woman at the same time makes only $7? Do you think it's fair? Wow, terrific audience. Do you think it's fair? No, it's not fair, because if a man makes $10 and the woman makes $7, the man is only left with $3. I think I made a left brain joke. So sometimes stories shape destinies. My life was shaped by my stories. The first one, the day I was born, in 1980. Yeah. In 1980, in my country, for those who didn't have noticed it so far because of my accent, I'm cute. So the day I was born, my destiny was to become a pilot, like this dude. Yeah, because, true story, I did my first flight when I was 1 hour. I was actually born with a handicap on my feet, and they couldn't treat me at the hospital. So I had to be transferred in another hospital, and I had to take the helicopter twice this day. So, and I'm an air sign, so I should have been a pilot. Flew planes all over the world. Small planes, big planes, if I need to compensate for something. Spaceships! So you want to know why am I not a pilot today? Simply because when my mom told me the helicopter story, it was 2 Christmas ago. Then another story that shaped my life. In 1989, when I was 9, I miraculously survived from an accident. You can see I had a very big head trauma. I still have a scar here. And this story told me our life was precious. Okay, having a second chance is good, and now 30 years later, I am here in front of you, ladies and gentlemen, and I wish that I fulfilled this second chance. I work in about 20 different industries. I work in the show business. I worked for biggest companies like Disney, Nike. I even worked in jobs I have absolutely no clue what I was talking about. Like, at one point for 2 years, I was an IT infrastructure networking consultant. I still don't know what it is today. And it was a great adventure and a great story. Actually, I'm not going to lie to you, not all my stories were success stories. But as Jetty says, you learn more from your mistakes than from your successes. So I'm going to share one very, very bad failure with you. In 2012, I was casted in a TV show. I'm the dude in the middle with a guitar. And it was supposed to be my big break. 25% of the annual budget of the channel, of the network, was in this TV show. But at one point, after 3 months of shooting, the people said, oh my God, we're going to do PG-16. We need to do PG-10. So basically, we need to swipe everything that's going to be funny. And sometimes people, you think that you're in a comedy, but actually you're in a horror movie. Long story short, the day it aired, it was one of the most commented programs on French television, and I guarantee you can check it on Wikipedia. I had 200,000 people tweeting, "Dude, you suck," at the same time. Yeah, what the network did, actually they gave us a thank you note and they offer us cigarettes. Yeah, because in France we like to have a little smoke after we're getting fucked. Actually, I can tell you something, at this time, I didn't even care less, because at the same time I was living a nightmare on my own. In 2012, my beautiful girlfriend passed away from a cancer. Yes, and that made me cross hell. So yes, I'm a survivor, I had this, and this day I decided to stop everything. I sold my theater, I moved from Paris to Amsterdam to clear my head. In Amsterdam, and I took the decision to act, to stop acting forever. That's what I thought, because in the end, you are always the producer, the actors, and the writer of the unfolding story of your life. One day. Okay? So now my speech is not over, but my time is over, and I know that we have a big day. So if you want to know the following of the story, the storytelling too, this time it's personal, you can come and talk to me. And I'm giving you just one present before I leave. It's my mantra, my mojo. You can use it, make it your own. You repeat this every day. I'm a wonderful soul in a wonderful way. I tell awesome stories for a wonderful pay. Thank you very much. Thank you.